Hey guys, welcome back to Bear Can Cook. And on this episode, we actually cook. What are we going to cook, you ask? We're cooking tacos. And not just any tacos, we're going old school and doing lard braised carnitas. So we're going to take some pork shoulder, braise it in some lard. While that's cooking, we're going to make a roasted tomatillo salsa to serve with our tacos. It's going to be fantastic. So that being said, I want to take just a second and talk about lard. Lard is kind of having a moment in the culinary world right now. A lot of bakers are getting away from shortenings, the Criscos of the world, and going to lard. It is much tastier. It's a lot richer flavor. And bakers just prefer it. So we are going to use lard, this stuff right here. I have some. It's available in your grocery store. It's shelf stable, so you can buy it in your baking section off the shelf. It's going to be fantastic. So let's get all the ingredients here. We'll take a look, and then we will get it up and running. All right, let's go. All right, guys. So here you're going to see all the ingredients we're going to be using today. So I've got 2 pounds of lard. I've got about 2 pounds of pork shoulder. And then these are our salsa ingredients. So we've got an onion, some tomatillos that we will peel and rinse, garlic, jalapeno, limes, and then I've got some tortillas over here. We will put this all together, and that'll be that. All right, guys, so we're over here at the stovetop. First thing we're going to do is we're going to turn our stove on to about medium. We want to get our lard in there and get it start to melting. So we'll take our lard. Okay, we got our lard in the pot. It's going to take a few minutes to melt, but we're going to let it melt, come up to temperature. And then in the meantime, we're going to cut up our pork and get our pork ready to go in. We can go ahead and turn the oven on. We're going to go 300 degrees. And then once the pork goes into the braise, with the lid on, in the oven, 300 degrees for about 2.5 to 3 hours. Get the oven on, 300 degrees, warming up. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to take our pork, we want to cut it into about 1.5 to 2 inch pieces. Like I said, I've got about 2 pounds of pork here. Cut it up into pretty good sized chunks, just like so. And then this guy, this big piece, we'll cut him down. And same thing. In some instances, you might take this pork shoulder and trim some of the fat off of it, but considering we're going to braise it in fat, that seemed kind of counterproductive to me, so we're not doing that. Okay, there's our pork, ready to go into braise. Let's check on it. Okay, the lard has come up to temperature, so now we want to take our pork and get our pork in the lard. Let's start dropping this in. Drop it all in. Bubble and sizzle a little bit, that's all good. Okay. All right, we'll lid it up, head off to the oven. And we'll see that guy in a couple hours. All right, guys, we got the pork in the oven, so we're gonna start working on our salsa. First thing we want to do is peel this husk off the tomatillos. Tomatillos will be a little sticky when you peel the husk off of them, so you want to give them a little quick rinse under cold water, and then we're just going to cut them in half. Okay, now we're going to arrange them on our sheet tray, cut side down to roast. Okay, Now we're going to work on our jalapeno. We want to take the top off of it, cut it right down the middle. We want to take the seeds and stems out. We don't want to be too hot because my children are going to eat some of this, and I'm not trying to hurt them. So I like to just kind of flatten it out a little bit and just cut right across, cut right across the vein, and take the seeds and the ribs out. That's where all the heat is. If you don't know, in most of your peppers, all the heat resides in the ribs and the seeds. So that's kind of the white part, and the seeds is kind of what we want to get out. So same thing again, just kind of set it down, cut it down across the pepper, take all that out, get our seeds out of there. So then again, on the sheet tray, cut side down for roasting. Garlic. I'm going to take a couple cloves of garlic off here, and typically I'm sure you've probably seen some people smash these. We're not going to smash these and take the paper off. We want them to roast inside the paper. Then when they're done, it'll be really easy to just squish it out like squeezing out the tube of toothpaste. And then the onion, I'm going to cut right down the middle. And we're going to quarter it. And then we're only going to roast half of it. Okay, now here's all our vegetables that we're going to roast for our salsa. We're going to hit it, just a little bit of olive oil. There we go. What's up, party people? Welcome back to Bear and Can Cook. It's been 2 hours and the pork just came out of the oven. It looks like this. So the pork comes out of the oven, crank the oven up to 450 degrees, up as it comes to temp. Vegetables go in. All right, here we go. We're on the home stretch of Taco Town. Here's our veg going in 450 degree oven. About 20 minutes. All right, so while the veg is roasting, we're gonna take the pork and get it out of the fat and let it drain for a minute. So let's get all this deliciousness. Now, you'll notice too, I didn't season the pork before it went into the braise. I'm a big fan of braised meats, need seasoning after. So if I season anything before it braises, I'll season it pretty lightly because I know I'm gonna season it again once it comes out of the braise. So we're gonna get all this deliciousness. Stuff smells freaking heavenly. The whole house smells like porky deliciousness right now. All right, guys, it's almost taco time. So we're gonna get our veg out of the oven. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, now we're gonna get all this goodness in the carafe of the blender. There's still a bunch of goodness on this parchment paper that the veg was roasting on, so we're not losing that goodness. We want all that. Okay, now we want some. I forgot to mention this earlier, but I had some cilantro in the refrigerator, so we're gonna throw some cilantro in with that guy. Little glug of olive oil. Some salt, and some lime juice. All right, now we're gonna blend this up. Okay, blended up our salsa. Give it a quick taste. That's good. Touch more salt. A few cracks of pepper. Oh, taco time, you say? All right. We get out a tortilla. Let's get some of our pork. Okay, we're just gonna rough chop this stuff. It's pretty much just falling apart anyway, but let's season the pork a little bit. All right. The pork. Little salsa. We've got some diced white onion here. A little squeeze of lime juice. And that's all she wrote. So, taco's done. I'm going to take a bite here in a second. Let you know how it is. Also, you know, pretty traditional. If you wanted to put like pickled red onions or radishes on there, it would also be delicious and pretty authentic. Cotija cheese, queso fresco, any of those cheeses, also fantastic, also pretty authentic. So, tacos, properly braised carnitas. The pork is kind of fatty. Tomatillos are a little acidic, which gets right through that fat. Absolutely outstanding. All right, guys, that's it. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for coming. Hopefully that wasn't too much of a bore. If you get any questions, comments, drop them in. I'll answer everything as best I can. Enjoy. I'll talk to you soon. Let's go.